Hey guys, Inflatable Robot here, and in this video I want to take a look at the Empress Effects Zoya. It's a pretty complex and obtuse little effects box, but it's really not that hard to work with once you wrap your head around how the buttons work, how the modules get put in there, how you make your connections, and the general workflow with this. So in this video I want to make a reverb, like a Shimmer reverb patch from scratch, and work that through, let you see how it works, and hopefully you'll understand it a little bit more by the time we're done. Anyhow, let's take a look at that. This is the Zoya from Empress. Today I want to walk you through building a nice, lush, pitch shifty reverb patch from scratch. So let's get started with that. First of all, like, this interface is a bit confusing, a little daunting, so let's just start with how you start. First of all, I'm going to put in a input, because right now I can send it input, but you're not going to hear anything. So I go to, I drop a module in by just pressing anywhere where there's a blank spot, and I go to Interface Modules. I go up to Audio Input. And then I'm going to make that white. I like my input and output to be white. Done. So now I have a stereo input. As you can see, when I touch this one, it says input left. Touch this one, it says input right. And when I send it sound, you can see the little sound meter bouncing a little bit. Great. Now I still can't hear it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a output module over here. Audio output. I'm going to make that white. I'm going to put in a gain control because I like having that extra bit of control on the volume, on the output, and done. Now, I still don't have any audio output because I have not made any connections. You can see as I send it audio, the inputs light up, but there's nothing being passed through to the output. In order to do that, I need to connect left to left and right to right. When I touch both of those inputs and outputs together, it creates a virtual wire. Now, if I select both of these at the same time, then I have selected that virtual connection. And you can see here it says 0 dB pedal input to pedal output. I can turn this connection down if I want to, if I find that it's sending too much signal. That'll become relevant later. Now we can hear what I'm doing. So let's disconnect those inputs and outputs because I don't want the dry signal going through. So I select the connection and I hit Shift Trash Can, and that deletes that connection. So now I no longer have a connection. Now let's get to that nice reverb that I was talking about. Effect modules over here, and there's a real nice lush reverb in here called Ghost Verb. That's the one I want. Blue is the appropriate color for reverb, and I want 2 ins and 2 outs. So can I do that? Oh yeah, click that. 2 ins, 2 outs. Now it's stereo in, stereo out. I hit that and then go to done, and now it's there. So let's connect our input left and right to the output, and then to the input here. And then the output are these last two. The inputs are always on the left, the outputs are always on the right. This one has stereo output, so I can go to my stereo. Now that's already a really nice sounding reverb. I can turn the feedback up like this by selecting the feedback node. And then I can get just like a ridiculous... Oh, that sounds nice. But it's not enough. I want more. I want some pitch shifty goodness going on in there. So in order to do that, generally what you want is a pitch shifter in a delay line. So let's add a pitch shifter over here. That's going to be in Audio Modules and then Pitch Shifter. There we go. And green is good for pitch shifter. I'll do that. Sweet. Now I'm going to take the output here, and I'm going to connect it to the input of the pitch shifter. I'm going to turn that input down to -6 decibels because this tends to get a little loud, and it'll feedback and clip and go crazy. So I'm going to turn both of those down to -6. It's a good starting point, especially when you're adding delay lines. So if I select the middle thing, there's the pitch shift amount. I want to go up by an octave. There we go. Now I want a delay line. There we go. How many seconds do I want? I want like 2 seconds. Red. Is red a good color for delay? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to connect the output of the pitch shifter to the input of the delay, and then the output of the delay back into there? No. Let's do another pitch shifter. Let's go audio modules. Let's do another pitch shift. Pitch shifter. Let's do green like before. Done. And then let's do another delay line. Delay line. Boom. Red. 2 seconds. Sure. All right. Done. Now, so those are connected. That's connected there. This one's not connected, so we'll patch that there. Let's make that -6 dB because that'll go crazy. Nice thing about the Zoya is when things start feeding back, it just mutes that line. So you won't blow your machine up, but it is a little frustrating. We'll turn that down to 6 dB. Now, this pitchy thing, let's make that go through one last reverb, because if we do it, if we run this back into the inputs here. Oh, see, now it started feeding back, and you saw how it kind of went crazy and then muted it. That's because our lines are way too hot. So we're going to bring those down. I see I brought that down to 6 dB and it started calming down. There we go. Now the audio is going through again. So that's important to know. If it just stops making sound, you're probably clipping. You'll see the nodes. Let me turn the times up on these delays. So let's do like 60 milliseconds for one, and then let's do like, yeah, like that. Oh, that one's not pitch shifting. Let's bring that up. All right, so I still feel like that's a little too direct. It's too sugary with the pitch shifting. So let's get rid of these connections here. And let's do something to make it a little creamier or a little smoother. So let's put in another reverb. Now we need to be careful because we're almost up at 100%. We're at 89% computer right now. So I'm going to put another reverb in, but this one's going to be the Reverb Light, which is fine. Reverb needs to be, ooh, this one can be magenta. Purple's where it's at. All right. Now I'm going to take the output of this first delay line and put it into the input here. Right, we'll do that. Bring that down by 6 dB. And then we'll bring this one in as well. 6 dB. But what I want to do is I want to have the mix all the way up. So all you hear is that reverb. You don't hear the direct pitch shiftiness. Now we'll bring those back into the original reverb. Down by 6 dB. Down by 6 dB. There we go. So essentially the way the audio is going from the input through this reverb unit into this pitch shifting delay line. Pitch shifter here goes up by an octave, goes delayed here, goes into the reverb. From this delay, it goes into this pitch shifter, which is up by another octave, which then goes into this delay line, which goes into this reverb. This reverb goes into the input of this first reverb. So everything you're hearing is going through this reverb, then through this, back through the reverb again. So let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah, that pitch shifting now sounds a lot better. Ooh. see what it sounds like if I take this second pitch shifter and make it go down an octave instead. Oh, it makes it sound darker. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Init Patch, or whatever you might want to call this, where I make patches from scratch. Thanks for watching, guys.